Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to come in here and talk about, like, bro, blue MAGA, blue MAGA, blue MAGA. We're not talking about red MAGA. We're not talking about Trump's MAGA. We are talking about, this is mostly going to be a political video. Okay? This is mostly going to be a political video because, for me, at what point, at what point is these like vote blue no matter who neoliberals, liberals are going to wake up and finally ask for a revolution? At what point are they going to demand a revolution when it comes to the Democrats? I feel like I've been talking about this for like since like the inception of my channel. I like literally, if y'all don't know my Liptons, I started my channel off talking about politics. Like literally, like the first video I ever did was talking about Joe Biden's failures. Like, what was it, like a year or two before the genocide? So it's like, at what point are y'all gonna stop this like blind loyalty to the Democrats? Hold their behinds accountable for the BS that they do and for what they stand for. Because we're gonna get to Hannah, and shout out to her, Hannah Inbinder. I'm sorry if I'm butchering her last name, but I'm gonna get to her statement. But let's talk about what happened this earlier this week, okay? So I posted this on my TikTok, okay, because I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna post it on my TikTok because like I wholeheartedly agree. Gavin Newsom, at this point, I don't even want to say like like Gavin Newsom is actually showing us exactly what he stands for, and I don't know what's going on with the blue MAGA neoliberal vote blue no matter who, scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds kind of cults that's going on with them. They want to make it seem as if Gavin Newsom is like the most like Prince Charming. He just came down on a horse here to rescue the country from the evil Republican Trump red mag. And it's like, no, he's actually also a Republican. Like, can we be honest? Gavin Newsom, while Trump and them is the fascist, Gavin Newsom is a Republican. Point blank, period. Like, let's stop with the ridiculous, like, whatever he's trying to label himself as a centrist. This man is a Republican. Literally, he didn't he create a whole Ronald Reagan Day in the state of California? He made a whole thing. Literally, the reason why the country is where it is right now with the privatization of all of these companies, the schools, everything that's going on in this country. And I'm not saying it started with him, but a lot of the issues are stemming from Ronald Reagan's tier as president. And this man, Gavin Newsom, made it a Ronald Reagan and trying to revere Ronald Reagan as if he was this great man. Ronald Reagan, first of all, he was a whole racist. He was calling black people N-words and monkeys. You guys can go look it up. There's a clip of him and Richard Nixon calling black people a bunch of monkeys and N-words. Okay? So he was a racist overall. So, and then on top of that, like the whole welfare queen thing, like Ronald Reagan was a raging racist. He was also giving fascist light too, if you really want to talk about it. So it's like the fact that Gavin Newsom is trying to revere this man, as if on top of that, Gavin Newsom doesn't have his own problems within his state under this sort of neoliberal democratic leadership. So Gavin Newsom has been trying to dip and dodge this whole like, oh, APAC, I don't know what that is. You asking me those questions? I don't know what that is. He was just sitting down with Ben Shapiro, and he was agreeing with Ben Shapiro that there's not a whole genocide going on. Oh my God. There's not a whole, he literally said it to Ben Shapiro. He told Ben Shapiro, I agree with you. I don't believe it's a genocide. So this man has clearly shown us who he is time and time again. And, he's trying to, I guess, trying to get a little bit of lefty votes here and there. Trying to say, oh, well, I reject money from AIPAC. I don't accept money from AIPAC. But then there's whole little other pro-Israel lobbies that he does accept money from. JPAC. What's the other one called? Is it Kufi? I believe the other one is called Kufi. That's also an Israeli lobby. So you might not be accepting it from the larger one, but you are clearly accepting it from all these other Israeli lobbies that are Israeli first. And then on top of that, this man is fighting a whole wealth tax. Mind you, California is, from what I'm hearing, I've never been to California, but literally the things that you hear from people that have lived in California, like you hear it time and time again. California is a mess. California is a mess. The prices are over like crazy. You hear the homelessness issue that is going on, that has been going on. Honestly, I feel like I've been hearing about, and I shouldn't talk because here in the East Coast, we also going through a whole homelessness. We have a whole homelessness crisis too over here, so I can't. But it's like we've been hearing about California's homelessness issues for like I would say the past 10 years. So it's like, and Gavin Newsom has done nothing about it. But he wants to be destroying these homeless people's encampments, homes, and destroying it, trying to remove, like, not trying to house the unhoused. So I took a screenshot of this, and shout out to this person, and I posted it on my TikTok. And here comes these Gavin Newsom bootlickers, these Gavin Newsom, I'm gonna bend over for Gavin Newsom by any means necessary. Here come his stands, all up in. I'm not gonna lie, I did also hashtag, because I was also saying, I'm sorry y'all, like I'm not voting for Gavin Newsom. If he becomes the Democratic nominee, I'm not voting for it. Like I'm not doing it. His tea has been out there way too much. Mind you, we're not even near the primary. Like I feel like Democratic voters should be demanding a candidate that is not corrupt, like Gavin Newsom. It's like we haven't learned people have not learned their lesson yet after what happened in 2024. So I hashtag also about Josh Shapiro. I'm not voting for Josh Shapiro, that Israel first guy in Pennsylvania. I'm not voting for that tap dancer. I'm not voting for Pete Buttigieg, that want to be Obama light. On top of it, he's also for special interest. I'm not voting for AOCIA Pelosi. I'm not voting for her either, because AOC, and I was a huge AOC. I was really here for AOC in the beginning, but then when people start acting funny over the latter parts of, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes when they be staying in government too long, it changed, and maybe they were always this way. Maybe they were always this way. We never wanted to see it. But AOC has also sold out quite a bit. And if she's running for president, like she's gonna, I'm not doing this with her, because that trip to Europe that she did over there, I'm forgetting what country. It was a hot mess. She sounded a hot mess. She didn't sound confident. Like she didn't sound like she was talking as if she didn't even know what she was doing. I felt like people were giving her some talking points. So it's like she needs to make sure that she believes the things that she is saying before she goes on the world stage and starts talking nonsense. So either way, like I said before, I'm not voting for Gavin Newsom. If Gavin Newsom becomes, God forbid, if he does become the nominee, I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting. I'm telling y'all this right now. It's not gonna happen. And then here comes these Gavin Newsom bootlickers all up in my. You want to be independent? You want to be? Let me tell you something. I'd rather be an independent. I'd rather be someone that is gonna vote for somebody who aligns with my values and my morals than to be voting for these genocide deniers. These corporatists that don't care about working people, that don't care about minorities. I'd rather vote third party. Yes, I'm holding the line. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I put my morals first in this situation, because I'm over it. I'm over the two-party system. I've been saying that. So yeah, I'd rather vote for someone who aligns with my values, which is the moral, honestly, because I feel like, and I'm going to be honest with you, I truly do feel like I put morality over everything. I do. And Gavin Newsom has shown us time and time again with his green goblin looking ass. He has shown himself not to put morals over the money, over donors. He puts the donors over his own constituents. He has shown himself. He has killed the healthcare bill in his state. He's blocking this wealth tax. Mind you, his state is suffering. But these, what is it, 1% of the pop, like 0.1, whatever, you don't want them to pay their fair share? And we're going through the same thing here on the East Coast. It's just like, so I was dragging, and then here comes these Gavin Newsom. Listen, let me tell you guys something. Y'all are dumb as hell. And the thing is, y'all also don't learn. Y'all also don't learn. And let me tell you guys something. If Gavin Newsom becomes if this guy becomes a nominee, it's not going to look too good for Democrats. I'm telling you guys that right now. If he becomes the nominee, he is going to look real nasty. If y'all thought 2024 was nasty, 2028 is going to be a whole different. And the thing is, Trump is, and I know people are saying, what's his name? JD Vance. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm kind of looking at Tucker Carlson as being like the Republican nominee. And let me tell you something. If Tucker Carlson becomes the Republican nominee, Democrats are screwed for life. Because let me tell you why. And this is what I'm saying. Democrats don't want to become the oppositional party. They want to toe this line. They want to walk on eggshells. They're not really an oppositional party. Because during Trump's State of the Union, they said that Elizabeth Warren and the other corporate Democrats were clapping when Trump was like kind of insinuated that he wanted to go to war with Iran. So, the Democrats are not really oppositional. They're not oppositional. Tucker Carlson has been positioning himself to be an anti-war guy. I've been watching not a lot, but sporadically I'll watch like the interviews that kind of blow up. I watched the Mike Huckabee one. I watched the Ted Cruz one. I watched that one interview that he did with that Christian nun that was who lives in Palestine. She's not Palestinian, but like she's I think she's either Greek, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like Tucker is positioning himself to be an anti-war guy. And what is winning right now is the whole anti-war sentiment within the party. And that's on both sides. That's on both sides. Trump won on some ends, even though he lied. We all knew that. But, Trump he would go to Republicans saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then he will go to, the people that were anti-war independents and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to stop all the wars. I'm going to stop all the wars. And Tucker has been successfully positioning himself to be, and on top of that, Tucker knows how to talk. And I'm no fan of Tucker Carlson. Let's be very clear. Tucker Carlson has and still does a lot of BS that needs to be called out. So he won't be getting my vote either. But he does position himself. And I'll say very smartly, calculatedly, and like very strategic, positioning himself as anti-war. So he gives me like isolationist vibes too. But he has a lot of, but the thing is, Tucker too also has a lot of problematic beliefs and ideology. So I have my issues with him. And if it becomes Tucker Carlson against Gavin Newsom, y'all, I'm telling you guys right now, Tucker Carlson is going to win by landslide. I don't care what y'all say. Tucker Carlson, I feel like, is going to run for president. He's going to run. He's going to, the way y'all need to get into it. Y'all need to get into it. So Gavin Newsom ain't in. And y'all trying to drag me. And this is how y'all sound to me. I'm like, listen, like, we have 2 years to actually have a candidate that's oppositional, that stands for something good, stands for the working class. Let's have that. Gavin Newsom is not that. Josh Shapiro is not that. Pete Buttigieg is not that. And on top of that, I'm here, Kamala Harris, who wants to run again. I'm like, oh my God. When are Democrats going to learn? Do they ever want to learn? And y'all telling me, oh, so you want Trump to win. No, I don't want Trump to win. I don't want the, but y'all also not. Listen, I'm not with this whole blind loyalty like group think kind of thing. Like I'm not with the shits. Either y'all come to me with something. It's not me trying to convince y'all. It's y'all trying to convince me. So y'all need to put up a candidate that actually makes some freaking sense. That actually makes some sense and stands for something. And the thing is, I don't know. It's like I don't see anyone right now within the Democratic Party that is just gonna that's gonna take it up. That's gonna take it there. And it's just, I don't see it for them. Like 2028, and I know some of y'all not gonna like this, but y'all better prepare. It's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty. So I'm gonna get to this. Um, but yeah. So shout out to Hannah Endenburg. How do you say her name? Endenburg? And no, N Binder. Hannah M. Binder. I'm sorry, y'all, my pronunciation. Hannah N. Binder. But yeah, she called out Gavin Newsom, and rightfully so. She was like, listen, because Gavin Newsom also said something like, oh, we gotta stop with the pronouns. It's like, bro, who said anything about pronouns? Like, nobody's talking about pronouns right now in 20, like, and he doesn't want to talk about the real issues. That's the problem with Gavin Newsom. He wants to dick it, and now he wants to talk about, pronouns and, like, girl, can you talk about real things? We're about to go to war with Iran. Like, we're about to go to war with, and you talk about pronouns. This is what I mean about Democrats. So, shout out to Hannah. She said this. She said Hannah has to vilify queer people in marginalized communities so he doesn't have to reckon with the real reason why Democrats fail. They supported a genocide. Thank you. And abandoned the working class. Thank you. Period. End of story. Gruesome Newsom and most of the Democratic Party are in the same pocket of corporations. He is throwing us under the bus so he can continue to take money from corporations and advocate for billionaires to continue to get tax cuts and shift the financial burden on the people in the middle and on the bottom. He is a Republican. Thank you. I've been saying this. Gavin Newsom is a Republican. I've been telling Blue MAGA this. Okay? I've been telling Blue MAGA this, Hannah, but they don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to me. So Gavin Newsom feels like he's oldest because he's also married into like the Pelosi family, and because he's the governor of California when he's done nothing for that state but except destroy the state. And I think that with Gavin Newsom's record, there's just way too much tea. Like there's just way too much tea about Gavin Newsom. Like people are gonna drag it. Like we're really gonna go through that record. He's not it. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, one thing I'll give like Trump. Trump really gets his name out there. He campaigned even like when Biden was still in, like literally since like the first year that Biden was in office. Trump was campaigning throughout the whole before even the primaries, and he was campaigning for like 2 years before that. He understands the pulse of the people, and it's like Gavin Newsom, these Democrats, Josh Shapiro, people they don't understand the pulse. They're not getting the pulse. So someone that doesn't get the pulse should not be in a leadership position. Period. Because you're not a good politician. Like you just think that because of your name, you thought that you think that you're just gonna get it because of your name. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. So that's just my thoughts on that. You guys can, say how y'all guys, y'all want to be mad at me and whatever. But at the end of the day, like, Gavin Newsom has way too much baggage. He has way too much baggage. So y'all can be mad about it. Listen, for my Brits, I told you guys, you guys were gonna pay this man's bail. Y'all paid the man bail. He's out here looking like Wormtail. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't think he gonna be locked up like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. To me, this looks like a publicity stunt on the royal family's end. I think they just did this just to be, cute. I know someone else got arrested, but they got bailed out again. Like, it's just like, girl, why? We'll see what happens. I don't know if he's gonna get locked up. He might get probation. You know how they are with these rich people. Y'all know how these people are with rich people. Like, like, either way, abolish the monarchy. That's what I have to say about that. Next, I want to talk about this because I feel like this is an interesting conversation. I personally did not go looking for this. This popped up on my timeline. Um. So okay. So there's a movie coming out. I will say this. I feel like I'm like a casual fan of Martin Scorsese. Like, I feel like I watch. Like, I haven't watched all of his films. No. Like, I would say like a good amount of like the Leonardo. Yeah. Because I watched the Wolf of Wall Street. Great Gatsby. Who was that? I'm forgetting who Great Gatsby was. Director of Great Gatsby. Um, Gangs of New York. I watched that. Killers of the Flower Moon. Um, I feel like I'm forgetting other things, but like if y'all gonna tell me, oh, he did a lot of work with Robert. Listen, I didn't watch any of the '70s stuff. Okay, so relax. So like I feel like I'm a casual fan. Like I watch certain things, and for the most part I like Martin Scorsese films. So it says here that like he's coming out with a thriller. I feel like he was also supposed to come out with a movie with The Rock and Leonardo DiCaprio, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I saw some news like that. That The Rock and Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be in a movie together with Martin Scorsese directing it. So I don't know. But yeah, so they're doing a thriller. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Mads Mikkelsen, yeah, and Patricia Clarkson. So then I saw this tweet, and I was like, okay, because I don't know. I feel like I have two minds about it. So this person said, I find it funny that no media outlet questions the fact that none of Scorsese movies have black actors in leading roles, especially since Denzel Washington has publicly said he would love to act in Scorsese film, but never got any attention from him. And then this person said, before anyone comes to bust my balls, I'm not calling him a racist, but pointing out something that's questionable. It's not possible that they think it's normal for the greatest film director in history to not be able to cast black actors in relevant roles. I have two minds about it, right? So I feel like I get it. Like, it's y'all know me. I have my woke side, and then it's like I have my like whatever side. So it's like, yes, like I feel like, because like we have the Killers of the Flower. So, but like that's recent. So it's like if we're looking like throughout Martin Scorsese's directorial film career, he's worked with the Robert De Niro's, the obviously Leonardo DiCaprio's even said on the interview that Martin Scorsese is his favorite director of all time. He's worked with like, big time actors who are more, white. It is what it is. So, and someone was saying this, they were like, they feel like Martin Scorsese does films that are mostly like centered around his identity of like being Italian and that sort of thing, which I can see. I can see that with like, especially the work that he's done with Robert De Niro, or like with The Irishman and that sort of thing. And then on top of that with Leonardo DiCaprio and that sort of thing. Um, there's a part of me that also feels like I'm also tired of like us as black people begging white directors to cast them in their films. You know what I mean? It's like I'm also tired of that. Like it kind of goes to like the whole situation that I talk about like almost every year, like maybe once a year, when like these black artists, they submit their work into like the Grammys or like these like white award shows, and then they get shocked when like their white peer gets the award over them, and then they start complaining about it, or their fans started complaining about it, then I'm like, then how about you stop submitting your freaking work to the white award show that was created for white people? Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm kind of over it. Like, it's like I feel like if black people, especially black men, if I'm gonna be honest with you, especially because I feel like there's a man thing, not more so for the community. I feel like if black people, black men more specifically, wanted their work, their artistry, and their talents to be appreciated, I feel like they would have created their own award shows, their own industries, their own studios. And I don't want to hear, oh, but not a lot of us. There's enough black billionaires. Okay, there's enough black billionaires, especially black male billionaires, that can come together, put their money together, and start up their own studios and their own award shows and their own, like, come on, y'all. We can't keep doing this every single year about like how we're not feeling us not feeling appreciated by like these white directors. It's like, bro, they're not going to prioritize you over their own. They're not. Like, can we just be honest? Like, I'm kind of done with this now. It's like, it doesn't really, like, I mean, maybe I'll have a moment or two, but it's like, it doesn't really upset me anymore, the fact that like white people choose their own. Like, they choose their own for their awards, for their films, for the, like, yes, it's like, is there some diversity that I really, really like? Yeah, it's cool. Like, if they were to cast some black people, like, here and there, and I like the role for what it is, I'm cool with it. But it's like, for the most part, like, I don't expect them to constantly, like, big us up. It's like, no, like, they're not going to do that. White people overall are not going to do that. They're going to give us the scraps. They're going to give us the crumbs. And they tell us time and time again. So it's just like, I understand, like, because overall, like, yes, like, throughout our lives, like, Hollywood was portrayed to us to be like this end all be all, like, oh my God, it's such this magical place, and like, you have to go work there, you have to do your films in Hollywood, and Hollywood studio, like, all these, different studios with Warner Brothers, like Paramount, MGM, like, all those studios, all those movie studios. I get it, but it's like, okay, so it's like, let me give y'all an example. Like, for instance, right? Y'all know on this channel, I also do Hindi film reviews. I talk about Hindi cinema. I talk about Indian films, Indian movies, Hindi films, Hindi movies, ZTV shows, that sort of thing. When I think about them and the Indian people, I'm like, yo, the reason why they created their own industry, their own Hindi cinema, their own Bollywood, even when I think about like the Telugu industry, the Tamil industry, the Malayalam, and those industries, even Nollywood, not Nigerian cinema. When I think of those industries, the reason why they had to create those industries is because they weren't being accepted into Hollywood. Hollywood was not recognizing their artistry, so they had to create their own. They knew that these white people were not effing with their stuff, what they were, importing in. Why do you think so many people, that's when Shah Rukh Khan came over here, nobody knew who Shah Rukh Khan, but like, he's a huge star over there in his own country. He created his own. They created their own because they knew that they weren't going to get the shine from Hollywood. They weren't white ass Hollywood. They weren't going to get it. And they knew that. So they said, you know what? Let's create our own. Let's create our own studios. Let's create our own award shows. Let's big ourselves up. And let Hollywood come to us. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Look what's going on with SS Rajmouli, and how much Hollywood has now, like, literally they're going to him because of how much Bahubali and RRR went so, it was so big. It broke records. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, sometimes I feel like, unfortunately, with the black community, like, and and I'll be honest with you, I don't get it as well, because it's like there's so many black billionaires. Not so, I mean, in the black community, but like they are the minority. But still, like, we have a good amount of black billionaires and millionaires. You mean to tell me these black billionaires and millionaires can't put their money together? Can't put their money together to start up their own like Tyler Perry? Child, don't even get me. Don't even get me on that one. So it's like, y'all can't create your own. Like, can we create our own instead of begging these white directors to be putting us in their, like, come on, y'all. Like, at what point are we gonna get tired? At what point? They're not gonna do it. And even if they do, it's like the role is okay. I don't know. I just feel like I want us as a community to build our own. And more specifically, it should be the men that should be building our own and creating their own studios and own movie industries. Because the Indian men created their own movie industry in Bollywood. The Nigerian people created their own movie industry in Nollywood. White men created their own industry in Hollywood. What is stopping black men from creating their own industry? Their own their own black cinema here in America. What is stopping them? I don't know. Y'all guys tell what you guys think in the comment section below about that, and how y'all guys feel about that. I just personally feel like I'm tired of begging these white, like, I'm tired of begging white people at this point. Like, just create our own. Like, let's stop begging. And it's like, listen, don't get me wrong. I don't mind if people participate in how. Listen, y'all already. I do film reviews too. Either way, so if that people that's fine with me. But like, I'm also kind of over the whole, like, oh, they're not including me in such and such. And it's like, then, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I get it too, like, because I feel like it goes deeper too with, like, even because I brought up Tyler Perry, and it's like, because when we do have these, like, and he's like probably one of the, I have to look into it, but like him and like, there are probably some respectable black actors that I'm not a fan of, like, some of the bullshit that some black media would be putting out. Like, when you look at Tyler Perry and what he be putting out, it would just be like, girl, caricature, stereotypes, and ridiculousness, and like, you know, so it's like, they want to be on some, like, I get it, but it's like, but then again, Denzel Washington. If Denzel did say it, I'm like, Denzel, I think you got a couple of, like, you can help to start you can, campaign with the black rich people to start up our own thing. Like, come on, Denzel, come on. I mean, y'all guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about that. I mean, I think I might get some mixed reviews on these thoughts, but I don't know. Y'all guys tell me what you guys think. Either way, that's just how I feel about that. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about this. About this video. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.